everybody. Hi to Liz, sunny Minnesota. Hi to Vicky. Hi Louise. Hi Beth. Sorry you haven't got any sunshine, Sandra. See, I've got sunshine here. We didn't have any yesterday, but today we have, so that's good. Blue skies, some clouds, but not too loads. Not too much. So that's good. I don't know how long we're going to have that for. It has gone chilly though. I don't know about you, but it's gone chilly here. But yeah, glad that you're here, you guys. I had a bit of a panic today, I have to say. Well, and yesterday. So yesterday I spent the whole day trying to work out what we were going to do today. I think I probably went through about 3 different cards, different ideas, and each one, nope, can't do that, no, not sure about that. So yeah, we've ended up with the card we've ended up with. So hopefully you guys will all like it, but yes, it was a bit of a struggle. Who else we got? Hi Valerie, hi Wendy, hi Deb, hi Sandra, and Nicole, and Dorinda. Hello, hello, hello. Right, let me do my little housekeeping that we have to do. So if you're watching this back, this is a live stream. It will be chatty. If you don't like the live stream, if you don't like the chattiness, you either come and join us, which is better because then you can join in with the chat, or you can skip through the bits you don't want, or you can wait and it will come out as a tutorial at some point. Big thank you to all my members. Hopefully everyone is on here now. I did check this morning and I didn't see any extra people, so I think I'm up to date. Hopefully I am. Hi Mary. So yeah, hopefully. Hi Cindy. Yes, I hope you're all having a wonderful day so far. Obviously it's still morning here. Well, no, it's not actually morning. It feels like morning, but it's actually not. It's now afternoon, technically. But it does feel like thingy bob morning. Rachel Tessman in the US is doing a live stream tomorrow at noon for an A2 version of the pyramid card. Cool, excellent. Nice. I do like her cards. She does some fabulous cards. There's quite a few good channels out there actually, like smaller channels which should really have more subs because they're just really super. And hers is one of them, definitely. So if you go and check out Stamp Your Art Out, she's got some very good ideas. Don't forget to hit the like button if you can, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video. And then I think we will crack... Oh yeah, we've got something else. We were going to crack on. But I've just seen as well... I know, 7:33 in the morning. Wow, Cindy, that's early. That is early. I actually overslept yesterday. Didn't mean to. I meant to get up at 8:30, but, you know. I'd love to see your versions of this card. You can put them on my Iced Images Pinterest board, inspiration Pinterest board if you want. I try and check it whenever I can. Pinterest is a bit rubbish about sending me notifications, so the other option is to put it on Reddit. I do check Reddit more often because I get notifications for that, so Reddit's a bit easier. On Reddit as well you can put up things that you've seen that you want me to do, or if you've got any questions you can put that up there. It's a bit more chatty on Reddit. Yeah, right, okay, let us make a start. Hi Sweet Pea, hi Jeanette. Oh, you had a swim, very nice. I presume it's nice and warm where you are then. Hi Sandra, unless you went to a swimming pool of course. 6:30, goodness me. Well, I appreciate your sacrifice of being awake at 6:30 in the morning and coming to join me, so thank you for that. I don't have a pre-done sample in any shape or form of this card, but those of you who like Sam Callcott and Susan Stampfield, amongst others, will have already seen this card, but I'm going to change it slightly on mine. So Sam called it a 5x7 Staggered Z-fold card, and I think Susan Stampfield calls it a puzzle piece card, I think. So I've actually got my measurements from Sam Callcott's video, but I've added an extra piece in, so it's not 100% the same. Hi Anne. So yeah, so go and check out their videos. I haven't put links in the description yet because I was rushing to get just any kind of measurement in, and cut my pieces out and everything. It was all a bit of a mad one. Okay, so you're going to need a 7x9 piece of card, and you need to score it at 2 inches and 4 inches. So that's one piece. And then the extra piece of base card, which I'm adding in, is a 5.5 by 7, and we're going to score this at 1/2 inch. Okay, so that's an extra piece added in. And the only reason I've put this extra piece added, there might be versions of this. There might be other versions of this coming soon. Once I've made one, it usually sparks my brain. So yeah, bear with, there may well be some others. But this was just, you'll see. I can't even talk today, so you have to bear with me. I'm really struggling. Right, so if we go with this one, we're going to go with a valley and a mountain. So I'm going to start with this one because it's kind of like a normal Z-fold, except that it's not quite the full length, width even, not length. So that is that. So that's your Z-fold. Then this piece here, I'm going to fold along that tab there, like that. And then I'm going to put red tape on the inside. You could put it on the other side, but I'm going to do it on the inside because I don't want it to be visible. So that is the reason why I've done that. But if you want to put it the way around, you can. And there might be a reason why it's better to do it the other way. I don't know because I've not tried it. So we're literally learning together today. This was almost a spin and see what we're going to make kind of a live stream, because I really was struggling to find ideas that my brain could cope with. I've got lots of ideas. I've got like a little board of ideas on there, but a lot of them I was just looking at thinking, no, my brain's not up for that today. My brain's not really at that level today. It's not going to cope. So I even started one. I'll give you a sneak peek of the one I did last night. So this is what we were going to make. Let me know if you want me to do this, because we can, but I do need a very well rested brain. So this is what we were going to make. Yes, quite. So that's what we were going to make. So yeah, that might come at some point, but my brain wasn't ready for that. Okay, so once you put your red tape on the tab, I'm going to go ahead and notch out my tabs because I just find it's a bit neater. So that is like that. And then we just want to take this one here, let me just fold it over like that. And then I'm going to take the, oh actually before I do that, before I stick that down, I'm going to stamp the inside here. So obviously with Sam Calcott's one, she, and also with, I think with Susan Campfield as well, they put their pattern piece here. So we're not doing that just yet. Yeah, Cindy, your brain's not ready for that. No, mine really isn't. And yeah, no, my brain's really not. Right, so I'm going to stamp this, and I'm going to do it this way round because of the way my card is folded. So let's just put this in here, like that, and like that. And then let's grab a wishing you a speedy recovery one. Nothing else covers, no, good. And then let's just lay that in. I'm going to stamp this greeting in the middle here. That will do, I think. Let's grab our... Because it's difficult, because there's quite a lot of, like, you know, simple cards, basic cards that I could do. But the thing is, a lot of people don't necessarily come to me to see that. They want the interesting, exciting cards. And my brain's not ready for that all the time, so bring on the interesting food. Okay. Well, I need to rest my brain before that. I think that kind of card is best off being a tutorial, not a live stream, just because then if I make a mistake I can stop, or if I get in a muddle or whatever I can stop. Whereas when I'm doing it as a live, it's just, there's a bit more pressure, do you know what I mean? Like it's a bit more pressure to get things right. So, and also because I looked at it and I thought I can't even think about how I would decorate that. I could look at it maybe a different way around, different orientation, and see maybe how I could decorate it, but yeah, I was just, no, my brain's not well rested enough for that. Not happening. M-fold. Oh, I should have put that back on. M-fold. Yeah. As I said, my brain's not ready for that. That's like asking a phone that has 2% battery to download a massive great file. It's just not going to happen. It just isn't going to happen. Right, so this one, so as I said, this one could stick like that. Okay, so you could put the tape on here, but obviously I want that to be plain, so that's why I'm sticking it on the outside there. I mean, you could just put your message on the back, but I quite like the idea of having it whatever I was saying, I don't know. So I can't even talk. I mean, you know what, let's do it this way round. Because it's going to need, if we place this one over the top like that, and then shimmy this right up against that edge, like that, and then put this tab over, and just make sure that stays in place and stick it down, because you do want it, that's the way it's going to be. So you do really need to make sure that it folds that way and it's quite tight to that edge. Let's burnish again. So there we go. So you've got a bit of a lip there. It's not completely, because obviously you've got that. It's not completely, but that's fine, because then at least it'll open fine. And then you've got space to write. So then on here, this is where we're going to stick our pattern piece. So on here, we need a piece that is 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. But I need to cut mine down a little bit, because actually, somehow or other, I've ended up with not quite the right size piece. So I'm just going to quickly trim this down. Let me just measure that and see what that is now. So it should be, that should be 5, but it's not. It's ended up being 4 3/4. I think my card wasn't quite 5 1/2. That's why. So if you do yours with 5 1/2, you'll be fine. So I'm just going to cut this down so it's actually 4 1/2. But yeah, go by the measurements in the description. As I said, it's just because my piece wasn't exactly the right measurements, because I have half a brain today, that's why. So let's plop this onto here, stick this down. Oh, turn that around. Let's stick this one down. There we go. Okay. There we go, that's stuck down. Okay, so now you're going to need a whole load of 1-inch strips of base card. So, in total, you are going to need, so here are all my strips. You are going to need one piece that is 1 inch by 5, one that is 1 inch by 4 1/2, 1 by 4, 1 by 3 1/2, 1 by 3, 1 by 2 1/2, and 1 by 2. And these are going to go on here, but I think I might put the pattern papers on first, and then we will add in, then we'll stick it all down. So for your pattern papers, so what I did for this, I actually cut out a piece of pattern paper that was 4 3/4 wide by 5 1/4 tall, and then that meant that I could just cut it into 3/4 inch strips all the way up and then alter the width of them. But it meant then I've got a kind of a continuous pattern, which I quite like the idea of. So I've stuck these down. I've just stuck a little bit of low tack tape on the back just to keep them all together so I didn't lose them. And so we've got here one piece that, so they're all 3/4 of an inch tall, and then the length is 4 3/4, 4 1/4, 3 3/4, 3 1/4, 2 3/4, 2 1/4, and 1 3/4. Hi Ali, we're okay. We're struggling. Well, I'm struggling. I don't know anybody else, but everybody else is fine. So that's the measurements. So all the measurements are in the description below. So now I'm going to go ahead now and stick all of these onto these strips. And I'm just hoping that my low tack tape is actually low tack. Yeah, I did put it on my jeans first so that it'd be a bit more fluffy and a bit less, you know, sticky. And I need to make sure that I keep it the right way up because I've cut it, as I said, so the pattern continues. If you wanted to, you could put some double-sided adhesive on the back so that then you just peel it off rather than having to glue it all. So this is this one. Thankfully with this card you haven't got any mats, because I think if you had mats it really would get quite involved. So there's that one. Right, so I'm going to put that there and put that here and build it up from there, I think. So this is the next one along. How are you, Ali? How are you doing? How's the weather where you are? Is it only in the UK that we have a bank holiday yesterday? Did any other countries have a bank holiday yesterday and also at the end of May? And how was everyone's bank holiday who had a bank holiday? Did you do anything special for your bank holiday? I didn't. I went to a board game cafe in the evening like I normally do on a Monday, so that was cool. But during the day I didn't do anything extra. It was just a normal kind of a day. So normal that I sort of forgot that most of the shops wouldn't be open. So that was interesting. Right, let's stick this one down. Never heard of a bank holiday. Oh, okay. Yeah, we have over here, we have bank holidays. Obviously, like Christmas Day is considered to be a bank holiday. Easter Sunday is a bank holiday. Good Friday is a bank holiday. Boxing Day is a bank holiday. And then if your Christmas or whatever falls on like a weekend day, then you usually get like an extra day. And then we have 2 in May. We have 1 at the end of August. Yeah. Valerie, you had a bank holiday yesterday. You had a lazy day. Good, I'm glad. Louise, no bank holiday here. Memorial Day is the end of this month. Okay, so that would be something similar. That would be a kind of a similar thing. Memorial Day. I'm going to peel the rest of these off so they're a bit easier to get to. There we go. Right. Vicky, you don't have bank holidays either. Oh, you had Labour Day. Okay. I know obviously some people have like different, like Labour Day, like you say, and other days. So that would over in the UK that would be considered as like a bank holiday. It's basically a day when you're not, you don't have to be at work. Obviously some people still work, but yeah, you don't have to be at work. It's like well, some workplaces let you have it as a day off. But I know workplaces increasingly, depending on where you work, but some, especially like retail, you might have to work it anyway. Ali, weather's lovely. Just stepped outside to retrieve a near full pack of toilet rolls that the dog took. Nice. Was he playing with them? That's hilarious. Hi Susie. Yesterday was Cinco de Mayo. There we go. Maybe May 5th. Yes, so like a day off for a specific reason. Yeah, that's what I mean. But we call it a bank holiday over here because the banks are shut, which is why they call it a bank holiday. Yeah, but yeah, like it's like I think there was a VE celebration here in the UK yesterday as well. In London, I think they had a VE day. But we have a bank holiday on a beginning of May and end of May anyway. We used to just have the one bank holiday in a May. But then they changed it, so we had 2. One at the beginning, one at the end. So that was rather good. Can't remember when it changed or why it changed, but it did. So there we go. Right, let's do this one down. Here's the last one. There we go. Bank holiday not applicable because I don't work Mondays. Oh, okay. We have too many holidays here in Canada. Oh, nice. Okay. Mostly chewed and soggy. Oh dear, Ali. That's not a good toilet roll. Suze, we have Victoria Day coming up. Cool. We call it a federal or state holiday. We get 11 per year. Oh, okay. And when you're retired, every day's a bank holiday. Absolutely. Hi, Bobby. Margaret Thatcher gave us the May Day. Oh, okay. Oh, she was good for something. That's good. No, she was good for a few things, but depending on your thingy, Bob, on your opinion. Right, so then we're going to go ahead and stick these on. So I'm going to start at the top. I think. Oh no, let's start at the bottom actually. I'm going to start at the bottom. Now I'm hoping that these are going to be okay, like there's not going to be, not going to be too big or anything like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick these down, and I think what I'm going to do, because I'm using glue, is I think I'm going to just put a little bit on like this, and go maybe just the one above as well. Just do a little bit at a time and work our way up. So this needs to go on here, and it needs to line up along the bottom and also on that left edge like that. Oh, let's get it straight there. And then we're going to go for the next one. And I'm going to butt it up against the one I've just done and stick it down. To watch out for glue seepage. So that's like that. Oh wow, they had a lady who's 101 years old work on aeroplane engines during the war. Fabulous. Hi Inga. Wow. I'm going to try and do the bit I'm working on, otherwise you end up with glue drying and then it goes hard and then it's not good. So let's just make sure we're all lined up next to each other. I've been wanting to make this card for a while, but I keep avoiding it because the idea of cutting out all those strips didn't appeal. But here we are, and it's not that bad. It's a good way of using up your little scrappy, strippy things that you have left over. Because we all have those little offcuts, those little base card offcuts that I mean, mine sit in a folder, and I do use them, but only occasionally. But for things like this, it'd be perfect. Okay, now we have to hope that we've done this so that we don't end up with any gaps. So let's stick this down like that. Let's just grab that one quickly while we've got a wet. Oh, there's a tiny bit of a gap at the top, but it's not too bad. You could start at the top and work down. My worry for doing that was in case I ended up with it dropping off the bottom of the card, because it does need to line up along the bottom, so then it doesn't it stands up okay. So yeah, there we go. So I have got a bit of a gap along the top, but because it's white card base on white card base, it's not that noticeable. You could shimmy them up potentially. Hi Carrie. Yeah, you've made this one, yeah. So I've added that extra bit in. So basically then we've got that like that, and then obviously normally you just have this. But I just thought, well, where are you going to write? Because I mean, on the paper that Sam used, it was really nice because she had all pattern around this sort of edge, and it was kind of blank here, so you could write. But on mine, you couldn't really do that. So I just thought, well, if you've got an extra bit, then you can write in there, and it still stands up fine, and it doesn't really. Because this bit, because I folded it inwards, it doesn't really flip out, so it still stands up like a normal card. Obviously, you've got a little bit of a gap there, and it just means then you haven't got to write on the back. So yeah, so that was my thought. So then I'm going to cut out this Get Well Soon card. Those of you who are members will recognise these flowers. I think we're finally going to use them. Now I should probably use a die to cut this out, but I'm going to go freehand because I really can't bothered to find a circle die that matches. So I'm just going to go for a freehand cutting out and hope for the best. Apologies for all the motorbike noises. There's a motorcyclist who uses this road every day, at least twice, and he's got a very noisy motorbike. And it can be very annoying when I'm in the middle of filming a video and then he decides to drive down the road. I usually manage to hear him coming before it interferes with the video, but it can be interesting. There we go. Right, there's the Get Well Soon. So I think that's going to go here, And then I was thinking about having probably on top. Well, I sort of like it behind, but they are quite big. That's the only problem. They're quite thick. So if I did that, it's going to stick out quite a lot. So quite like it one above and one below, or even two below. But I say they are quite. They're kind of meant to be more on top. So let's have a look. So let's see what it looks like with it on top. One there, and one there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do we think? That's on top. I prefer it with it underneath, but obviously, as I said, it's too 3D. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Bobby, Carrie, and Liz. Thank you. What do you think? One's on top, one's below. I personally think that this would be better being on top with this one, and then this being on top. But then these are very, as you can see, they've got quite a bit of chunk to them, because I did stick them down with foam pads. So I can either take one apart, or I might be able to take this one apart maybe, and that one's a little bit flatter actually. I might be able to just take the foam pad off. Let's do that. Let's take the foam pad off and stick them with something else, like silicone glue, for example. That might be a better idea, I think. Right, just very delicately, because they're laminated, these flowers, so they've got a shiny surface. So trying to take a foam pad off is actually quite easy. I think we'll do that. Right. Let's grab my silicone glue and stick them together with silicone glue, because that way I can squish them down a little bit more. So they're a bit more flat. Put that there like that. On top, both. Oh, both on top. I was looking for an idea for my mother-in-law. Yeah, there you go. You like the flowers on top. Okay, cool. Well, if I'm going to flatten them down a bit anyway, because I think they're a little bit too, you know. There we go. So they're still 3D-y. They've still got a bit of oomph to them, but they're not quite as bulky as these. Let me just make this one a little bit less as well. I'm just thinking also about postage, because at the moment I've got 2 foam pads, so that is quite a lot to be stacked, and a gem. 2 foam pads and a gem is quite a lot, so let's just re-stick them. I think originally I was planning to do silicone, but when I made them, it was quite late, I was quite tired, and it was all getting a bit much, so so I was just like, you know what, let me just use foam pads. But actually I think silicone glue would have been a better option. There we go, and then stick this one in. There we go. So we think on top. So that's there and that's there. Yeah, okay. Right, so let's go ahead and add some silicone gel on here, and I'm not making it very high, just a little bit, and also need to be aware of it squeezing through the gaps as well. We don't want it squeezing through the gaps. Put that one there like yeah, like that, and then let's go ahead and stick this one down at the top here. And then we'll stick this one down the bottom. I feel it's a bit better now, it's not quite so bulky. There we go. There we go. So there's your finished card. So yeah. And as I said, stay tuned, because I may well do another version of this, but yeah, something different. Keeping the little strips idea, keeping these pieces, the puzzle pieces idea. I did like the one that Sam did. She did it, I think it was a 5x7 landscape, I think. And it was like the interlocked, so it was like a double Z-fold. That was really nice. But I thought, let's start from the beginning and we can work our way up. Yeah, but that was a nice one. So yeah, there you go. Obviously you do have that at the moment, you've got that tab at the back. If you wanted to and it really bothered you, you could cover it up with a panel. I'm not that bothered because obviously it is on the back of the card, so yeah. But yeah, there we go. And I also decided that you want something quite plain on here. Just have a look at your papers and see what you've got. You could also alternate your strips. That was another thing I thought about doing. So I think I've seen Susan Stampfield do that. I think with hers, she's kind of alternated them. And that looks nice. In fact, I think one of them she hadn't done pattern papers, so they were literally all just like base card pieces, but different coloured or different patterned base card pieces. And they didn't have, you know, a pattern piece on top. So that's another way of making it a little bit simpler. So there you go. Well, that was quick, wasn't it? Half an hour. My goodness. But yeah. Please let me know in the comments afterwards if there's any other cards you want me to see me do, because I do struggle sometimes to know what to do. I get a bit like, I've got certain cards that I'm going to be doing as videos, but then it's just sometimes it gets a bit tricky because I don't want anything too complicated on a Tuesday, because often my brain isn't working. You made a First Holy Communion card for your Polish lady. It wasn't a plain boring card because she wanted a wow card. It cost her well over £11 to post to Poland. Wow, okay. Wow. Well, yes, so there we go. Nice and simple. Relatively quick. So there you go. But yeah, if anybody's got any other ideas of other stuff you want to do, please let me know. As I said, this one here, because I was thinking this one, sorry, it was that way round, I saw it, that way round. It might be quite nice that way round, as like a pop-up inside of a card. I saw it this way as a brochure, is how I saw it. And I think it's quite cool, but it is a bit involved. So, if you want me to do this as a video, I will. I'm not sure. I need to have slept well to be doing that. That's the only thing. But yeah. Oh, fabulous, Sandra. Good. Yeah, well, enjoy. You feel cheated. I know. Well, just give me some ideas. You know what we could do, actually? Now, if you want to. So after the little debacle last January, which some of you know about, I made these up. And I think have I got some more? Have I done them all now? No, I've done them all. So, and I saw somebody else do this as well. I can't remember who it was, Polish lady. But she did it with dice, I think. So a random card generator. So let me just remind myself what we've got. Okay, yeah. So the pink stripes are the card type. The green are like elements. And the orange are colours. Okay, so you basically choose just choose a card really. So let's choose a card, shall we, randomly? Just choose a card, any card. And pick this one here. I don't know what that is. So that's my card type. Sometimes I pick two and merge them together. We might do that. And then this one is the elements. So let's pick one or two elements. I don't know. We'll pick one for now, since I don't have much brain cells. And then this is the colours that we want to use. Okay, so this is the colours we want to use. So there's the colours. Okay. So we have picked. Now I feel like I want to do, should I? Okay, we'll see what this is. I potentially might pick a second and merge the two together. So I've picked a trifold card using vellum in pinks. Okay. A trifold card. Yes, Louise, I don't use those two words. I don't use those two words because I got in a lot of trouble. And I didn't mean to get in a lot of trouble. I was, you know, doing what I thought was okay. But anyway, they didn't like it. So, yeah. This is a different version. We will never mention those two words ever again. Right, okay. So, trifold card, vellum in pinks. Any ideas, anybody? I mean, the whole thing doesn't have to be in vellum, but it has to have vellum on it. Trifold card, vellum in pinks. Right, let me get a trifold card. And then we can work it out. Do we want to go 5 by 7? We probably do, don't we? Can we go 5 by 7? Yeah, let's go 5 by 7. Pinks. Right, if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments. Trifold. Okay, so I'm going to go with a white card base just because it's going to make it easier to kind of navigate. Let me clear my desk, so now I need to cut pieces out. I'm not going to bother with mats, I'm just going to go with patterns because again, vellums can be flowers or sentiment. Oh yes, that's a good point. Do we want to pull another extra thingy bob card? Oh gosh, come on brain, work. Another element card. Do we want to have 2 elements is what I was trying to say. So we've got a bit more to go on, or should we just wing it as best we can? What do we want to do? See, you got help now. This is on you now. This is you guys got to help me out. Help! I'm waving the white flag. My brain isn't working. Okay, so I've just cut an A4 down so that it's 7 inches by the length of an A4 because I'm not sure how big I need it to be. If it's 5 inches wide and these are 11 and what, 3/4, then I guess we'll have to add a piece on. Let's go 6 by 6. Add another element with the vellum. Okay, so we'll add another element. Ribbon and vellum. Okay, there you go. This is getting interesting. Right, let's score this then. Let's just see how big this is. This is 11 and, okay, let's make it 11 and a half because 11 and like 5/8 is a bit of a weird one to have. Okay, so we are making this up as we go along. Right, let's leave those there. Let's move these out of the way. Okay, and then you don't know, I have used ribbon. Back in the day I used ribbon. My problem with ribbon, and I do like ribbon, but my issue with ribbon is that it's bulky in the envelope. That is my issue with ribbon. I like ribbon, and you know what as well, I've actually got some ribbon that I really want to use and I just have never used it, and I really like it. I'm just searching for the elastic band. There it is. I really like this particular ribbon. It's more of a trim, but it was a paper chase one and I really liked it, but I've never used it, so I'm going to grab that ribbon and we're going to build it around that, I think. Let me just grab it. Oh, where's it gone? Here it is. Now on a trifold card, I'm not quite sure how we're going to do it. But look at this, how nice is this ribbon? I'm sorry, I just thought it's so cool. Look at it, it's all pastels like a baby card. And it says pink, so this has got pink in it, so you could make it more pinks. But how cute is that? You can't really see the colour very well on here. It's all like pastels. You really can't see the beautiful colours. It looks really, you can't really see the colours on screen, which is a shame, but it's beautiful. So I really want to use that ribbon. So, trifold. Okay, so I think what we're going to do, because I don't really want to use an extra piece, so I think what we're going to do is grab this 11 and a half. Now half of 11 and a half is, oh gosh, half of 11, well half of 10 is 5, half of, and then you've got half on that, and then you've got a quarter, so 5 3/4 is halfway. And then we want to go 2.5 one way and 2.5 another. So 1, 2.5, and then 1, 2.5. You can see how my brain works out things now. So I'm going to be scoring at Yeah, so this isn't going to be a complete, they are going to overlap, but it's not going to be a true trifold card in that it's fully overlapped each other. So I'm scoring at 3 1/4 and I'm scoring at 8 1/4. Okay, because then this bit in the middle is 5 and these are then going to be equal. So we're going to do that first. And so I'm just going to fold these in. So it's kind of gatefold, but kind of not. It's kind of trifold as well. Yeah, so it's kind of a trifold. Okay. Now, trifolds don't need to be... See, my brain's completely just gone off on one and doesn't know what a trifold is anymore. Because I don't know what a trifold is anymore. Oh dear. Right, okay. So, that's like that. Now, I kind of feel like this needs to be this way round rather than at an angle, but then... let me just see. Along that edge might be quite interesting. Okay. You could have it on the actual panel. What could we do that's interesting about this to make it a bit more of an interesting, not just a plain trifold card? Shall I pull another? Shall I be really daring and pull another of the card types and see if we can amalgamate the two? We might not be able to, but we might be able to. I'm going to pull one, and we can deny it if we don't want it, if we don't want to choose it. So I'm going to go, I don't know. I would say to you guys to pick a card, any card, but it's a bit difficult for you to pick a card. I'm going to pick this card here. 6 by 6. Well, I've started on 5 by 7, so that's not going to work. Okay, let's try again. We might just completely ignore this. Pillar card. Okay. Okay, that might work. A pillar card with a trifold. Okay, that might work. So, what if we... I've got that going over there and that going over there. If you want to help at any point, please do. Any input is useful right now, because I'm struggling. Okay, so I'm just thinking if we put a pillar, we could put a pillar on the front halfway. So 2.5 is here. That's a 3/4 inch. And how much does this thingy bob, how much does this measure? This measures about 1 inch. Okay, so what if we put a pillar on the front here that has ribbon on it? Yeah, okay. So let me grab another piece of card. So I'm going to need a piece that is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3/4 times 4 is 1, 2, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. So it's 3 inches by 7. Let me find a piece that is 3 inches by 7. And cut a piece that is 3 inches by 7. 3 inches. I'm going to go a bit more than 3 inches just to be on the safe side, because I'm not quite sure. I don't really want to. If I do a 1/2 and a 1/4, no, if I do 2, 4. So yeah, so what did I say, 3? So let's go 3 1/4. So we've got 3.5. So we've got an overlap by 7. Okay, 3.5 by 7. Right. Okay. So still need to use vellum somewhere. Yeah, vellum. I think we'll go with embellishments for vellum. Right, so this one here, this is 7 inches long. So what I'm going to do is we're going to grab this and we're going to score at 3/4 of an inch, and then 1, 2, 3, 1.5, and then 2 1/4, and 3, like that. And then we're going to burnish all of our score lines. This is what I do if I get really stuck for an idea. This is what I do. This is why you get some funky looking cards sometimes. They've been born out of randomness. Okay. I don't know if I'm missing everyone's comments or if there just isn't any. Oh, here we are. I've missed them all. Don't worry, Linda. We've done the main card. We're now off-piste. So hopefully this will go well. Yes, quite. Right, okay. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put... I'm going to use red tape. I was going to use wet glue, but I think I'm going to use red tape because I want it to stick straight away. So let us just put this on here. Like this. Like that. There we go. And I'm going to just notch these corners of this tab as well. This is my little 1/2 inch tab. Notch the corners. Okay. And then let me grab my... Oh no, what's happened to my... Oh no, pin's here, that's good. My pin. And I'll take some of this off. In fact, I'll probably take most of it off. Well, that's it. And then we'll just fold this down and make this pillar into a pillar. So there's my pillar, and I'm going to put that on like that. So this is going to fold that way. This bit is the bit that's going to be stuck onto the actual card itself. Hi, Nika. Good to see you. And then let me just see where 2.5 is, because I want that pillar to be halfway. Let's grab this. 2.5 is here, and at the top it is here. So then if this pillar goes on, if it goes on there, it's going to be off to one side. Okay, so it kind of needs to be halfway like that, so I might have to trim this down. That, although I might do I want a lip. Don't know if I want a lip or not. That's going to go on the front there like that. I'm just wondering if I might want to trim that down a little bit so it's not quite... I could have made that wider, I suppose. I just didn't want it to be too much in the way. I don't mind the lip. It's just a case of what you're going to decorate it with. Or we can have it off centre and have it lined up like that. Do we want it off centre? Do we want it... Oh, I don't know. Let's put it this way round. It opens the wrong way, but then you could have something coming off it. This is the thing. This is the bit you don't normally see. This is the bit I do at home by myself. Help me, people! Help me! Okay. Let's do that like that. I've got a lip. Do I mind the lip? I don't know if I mind the lip or not. I think I'm going to leave the lip on. Okay, so let's go ahead and just stick this down. And yeah. Let's go ahead and just stick this down. And then we'll work out all of our pattern pieces. Because, yeah. Right, so that's going to go there. I need it to be central. So like that. Okay. Just fold it down, but also try and keep it so I can get it stuck. Are we even Stevens? Pretty much. Okay. So there's our pillar card. I'm going to leave that. Oh no. Well, this is the thing. My tired thought process. I'm going to leave that lip. We can cut it off if we need to later, but I don't mind it. I feel like we could almost put a bit of trim or something down it. And then what I was thinking was this could be on here, either side, like that. So you have this kind of fringing, and then you put a thing in the middle. So that's what I'm sort of thinking. And we could actually tuck it under the thing, which you probably should have done before we stuck the pillow together. But see, this is the thing, when you're just winging it, you know? When you're just winging it, I probably need a slightly, yeah, that one. A nice thick piece of red tape is what I need. So I'm going to do the trim first, just because I kind of want to get it out of the way. Whether that's a good idea, I don't know. And I'm cutting it so it's slightly bigger than the actual pillow itself, so I can tuck it in, and then I've got trim that can stick to it. Yeah, I'm going to have to trim off part of the trim in order to get it to fit inside the column. But anyway, so that's that. And then what we're going to do is take off the backing. And I probably should have taken the backing kind of off before I went round the corner. Oh, these are the bits you don't normally see. See the polished version, and this is the non-polished. This is the shambles that goes on behind the camera. And when you're making a new card or a new fold, and you've never done it before, and you're just making it up as you go along, this is the sort of thing that happens. So what I'm going to do, I need to be careful not to fold that down, because if I fold it down it's going to stick it. So we're going to grab Mr. Trim. In fact, let's just take all of that. I'm going to grab Mr. Trim. I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap. Halfway is about here, I would say. So I'm going to put that on there like that. And then, oof, come all the way down like this. Trying to make sure it's kind of even. Let's get little bits out of the way that want to be stuck down. Don't stick over there, please. Thank you very much. Like that. And then, how much do we need to take off? So I reckon if we trim it a bit more than we need. Now the other thing as well I haven't thought about is the fact that this might impede it folding down flat. Hopefully it won't, but it might. Okay, Bobby. Yep. We'll come back later and see what we came up with. And then I'm going to have to, as we go in this corner, I'm going to have to trim off the actual trimmy bits, because they are going to get in the way. So we're going to go in here and we're just going to trim all of these little bits here off, like that. And then that can go round and under and stick inside. And the same on this bit. So let's come down to about here, I would say. Yeah, about there. Oh, missed a bit. Just take that little bit of trim off, and then that can go under and stick down on the inside. Then we want to do the same on the other side. So let's turn this round and let's repeat it on the other side. So I just need to make sure that my trim, so this bit here, that edge lines up with the edge of my fold. So like there, down to here, like that. Got a bit of an overlap, but we can kind of just shimmy it into place. Definitely don't want glue exposed. There we go. And then this one's the one with the longer piece of tape inside, so that's that one. And then let's just take, there's the edge there, so let's just take that bit of trim off so it'll stick okay. Oh gosh, my fingers aren't working today. Like that, trim that bit at the end, and then that can go over and stick down on the inside. Like that. And the same on this side. I'm just removing that trim bit because I don't want the extra bulk. So let's just remove that bit of trim there as well. But I also don't want it to fray, which is why I'm only taking off bits of it. Hi, I'm Gary, how are you? Good to see you. We're winging it right now, so we've made the card we were going to make, and because it ended at half an hour, we're now winging it. So this is me winging it. So yeah, buckle up, it could be a bumpy ride. Okay, so there's the ribbon part of our card done. We're doing a kind of a make it up. I've chosen some cards. So we're doing a trifold card that's also a pillar card. This is why I've got this on the front here. It's that way around. And then we've also got vellum. We need to use vellum. We've used ribbon, so that's cool. We've done that one. So we've just got to do it in pinks, which I've sort of done. And yeah, right. So now we need to find some papers that go with this. And I also need to get some vellum. So let's have a look. And what have we got? That's pinky. I'm sort of thinking like a baby card, or maybe a Mother's Day. Let's have a look and see what we have. Talk amongst yourselves while I have a look through my stash. Trying to find something interesting. That one's quite good. The Oh So Sweet papers are quite good because they're like pastels. So we might go with these. So we've got like this sort of thing. That one's quite good. It works quite well. That works quite well with it. As does that. I quite like that. I think I'm going to go for this one. I think I'm going to go with this one. Yep, that looks like the one to me. Let's grab another. Have I got any with things on them? I feel like it could do with a bit of a effect on it, just to make it a bit more interesting. That's quite a nice one. That would work. I might go with that one actually. It's a bit more interesting. Let's go with that "With Love, You Are Lovely" one, because that would work as a. That would work as a Mother's Day card, or a birthday card, or a get well card, or anything along those lines. So let's use that one. So I am going to need, let's have a look, I'm going to need, this panel here is 2 1/8. What an interesting measurement that is. So we're going to go 1 7/8 by 6 3/4. So I'm just going to write it on here because I'm going to cover it up anyway. Okay, and then on this side we should have slightly bigger. So this is going to be 3 by 6 3/4. Okay, right, so let's cut that out then. And then we have got that white edge, but I don't know whether I might be able to put something on that maybe, or I might just trim it off. We will see what we think. Let's cut this down so it fits. Right, so we want, what did I say? 1 7/8 by 6 3/4. So 1 7/8, which is there, by 6 3/4, which is there. So that's for that one. and then 3 by 6 3/4. 3 by 6 3/4. Here we go, so that's for that one. Yep, okay. So let's get those stuck down, and then we need to work out our embellishments and what we're going to do for that. But I'm missing a lot of the comments here. Let's have a look, where are we at? Right, okay, so let's stick these down. If you have any ideas, please let me know. I feel like it needs a mat, but I don't want to do a mat. Mats are too extra. I feel like it could do a mat. It could do with a mat, but anyway. I'm not going to do a mat. I'm just going to go straight for the pattern. Let's keep it simple, people. You have to go. Okay, Anika, have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day. Okay, so that's going to go on there like that. And then this one is going to go on here. Like this. Now I should have stamped my greeting before I started all this, but I didn't, so I might use a peel off or something else for the inside. Okay, there we go, so that's that one. So that's that. We have got a lip. I don't mind the lip, you know. I could take the lip off. I don't mind it because you kind of then know where the fold is. It does fold flat, so that's good. Okay, so then we just need to work out our greeting. So we need to have done them, we've done that, we've done that, and we've done that. I mean, you could argue that this is more lilac, but it is sort of pinks. We'll just, you know, it's fine. And then we just need to sort out our vellum. The chit chat haters are in for a real treat today. They really are. You're going to watch while you get ready for work, Gary. Cool. Well, I expect to see you making one of these. Okay, can you get Pete onto it, please? I'm only joking. I'm only messing. I'm only messing. Right, let me grab some vellum. Let me grab some vellum. Where is my vellum? It's here. Oh. And I recently sorted out my vellum, so let's see what we've got in the way of vellum that works. We have pink vellum. I've got quite a lot of pinks, quite a bit too pink though. Might be better off with this. Might be better off with lilac-y. I know we're supposed to be in pinks, but it looks a bit mucky, that does. It's a lilac, but it just is a bit dark. Pinks. I don't think I've got any other pinks in here. Or we just go with white. What have we got in the way of vellum? That would work. So I've got that pink there, which is this pink. There's that pink. That's not a bad pink. Maybe that one will work. Oh, that might work. It's a bit pink, but if you layer it with something else, it's not quite so. Maybe the two would work. Or we could go with lemons. We could go lemon. Some small bling, not to take away from the ribbon. What, down the lip? Yeah, I could see that would work. There's this one, which is more of a... This is supposed to be white, but it's more of a kind of a creamy. And maybe that would be better. Yeah, I think that one. I think a plain one. I think the pink's a little bit too much. It's a bit like, whoa, I'm a bit pink. I'm a bit overpowering, people. Okay, so let's go with that one. Could go lemon. No, I think we'll go with the white. Right, so what do we want cut out of our vellum? That's the other question. Right. What should we do? We need to sort out a greeting, first of all. So, I'm thinking a circular greeting in the middle. I could make a flower. Yeah, I could make a flower. It's annoying because on the video it doesn't show, the colours don't show up as well, like it looks quite greyed out. In real life, as you'll probably see on the photo, if I do a photo of it, it's quite Well, I'll try and do a photo and put it on Instagram so you can see. But the photo, the actual colours itself are more vibrant than what you're seeing on the camera. Right, we need a greeting. What greeting should we go for? Should we go for a stamped greeting? Let's have a look. What we got in the way of greetings. We've got that one, which is quite nice. Okay, I've got that. Anybody had any ideas? Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Gary. Right. So we've got happy birthday to you. I quite like this. It's not big enough, but I quite like it. I like that on your special day as well. That's quite nice. Yeah, I might do that on your special day and have it in a circle. Maybe. Maybe. A stamped element. Okay, let me grab some white. Can you hear my brain cells working away? Trying to figure out what to do. Let me grab a bit of card. Oh dear. I don't want to start a new bit of card, but I might have to. Oh, that might work maybe. You can make a flower. Oh yeah, I've already read that. I think an on your special day, and then maybe a circle to cut it out of. Circles. Do I have a decent circle that I could maybe cut it out of? This is the question. I don't have a die that's exactly that. I could do with like dies that actually fit sentiments, because that would make life a lot easier. But yeah, right, I might just do like a plain circle like that one that it can fit into, and then have an outside that is kind of fluffy. You're relabeling all your distressing pads. Oh gosh, that is laborious. I know you're the one who felt cheated as well. I mean, come on, I need some help. Oh dear. Right, let me grab my thingy bob. Lots of thingy bobs today. Let's grab my stamp pad. That's the one I want. Stamping positioning thingy bob. Still don't know what it's called. And then let's grab my on your special day. There it is. Yeah, that works, doesn't it? That looks okay. And then we're going to stamp that there. I very rarely use this stamp. This was an old Do-Craft stamp from my days of demoing for Do-Craft. And I did like this set because I had very few sentiments, and this was one of the ones I had that I was like, oh, I actually quite like that. I'm going to stamp it in black. I probably could do it with doing it in a different colour or whatever, but whatever. It looks like it's going to be a little bit, it's not going to be the best detail ever. But anyway, it is what it is. Yeah, it's a little bit fuzzy on the edges, but you know, it's fine. We've got a fuzzy trim, so we're going to go fuzzy. It's fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to go with fuzzy. Never noticed that before. I don't know why that's fuzzy. Anywho, let's just quickly wipe down my pad nicely, my stamp, and get it kind of clean. Right, so now we just need to cut that out. So we're going to just cut that out. Let's put my pad away so I don't lose it. Grab my die cutting machine. Now if the table starts wobbling, it's because I'm using my die cutting machine. Right, that's there like that. That's going to go on like that, nice and central. I think that's central. I'm going to sticky tape it into position because I have a feeling it might end up moving. So I'm going to sticky tape it on the outside edge like that. I really need to wash these plates because you end up with bits all stuck over everything. Okay, so that's my greeting. So that's cool. And then I feel like it needs a lilac around the outside because at the moment it's quite, it doesn't look, yeah, it needs a border to it. So that's what we've got so far. Could you cut some foliage and vellum to place on the sentiment? Yes, I could, and I think that I might. So that's what we've got so far, and I'm thinking if I do a fancy circle around the outside but cut it out of this kind of pinky lilac-y colour, then yeah, don't worry Diane, exactly, same. My brain's really not firing on all cylinders today. It really isn't. It really isn't. I really struggled this morning. I was in two minds to be like, you know, I'm going to have to cancel the live stream. I can't do it. But yeah, we got there. I pushed through. We managed to make a card and now we're on a second. So there we go. Oh. From 0 to 100 miles an hour. Right, let's grab a fancy circle, of which I have one over here. The one that, oh, that one fits quite, not quite. Oh, it's not quite big enough, that one. It's almost big enough. You'd have a little bit of a frill, but I'd like to see a bit more than that, really. Okay, so let's go with the other one then. Let's see if my other circle die has a bit more to offer. Let's grab the other one. Here we go, here's another one. Where's my circle die? Oh yeah, this one. This one would work. Yeah, let's go with that one. And so I just need to cut out that same colour. Have I got any in here that's kind of like a plainish in this paper pad? No, I don't think I have. Okay, so we just need to find a paper. That's not, it's a bit dark here, but I'm wondering about that lilac-y colour. It's probably a bit dark, that one. Okay, we need a lilac. We need a pale. To rack my brains. What do we got? We've got that one. Is that going to be too much? That's too much. That's light, it's more purple. They're all a bit too much. I need like a pastel. Let's have a look in here. Let's have a look in my, let me move, oh well, I need to leave this on because I'm going to be using this in a minute. So I haven't got enough space on my desk to show you my mirrored card as well, so I'm going to have to do that off camera. Got a whole heap of mirrored card right here. I'm just going to have a look through, see if I can find a pale pinky lilac-y that goes with that. Oh, I think I found one. I think there's one at the back here. Yeah, that one there I think is going to work. Is that going to work? It's a bit darker. It's not bad. It's probably not quite what I want. Don't worry, you didn't get a notification. Oh dear. YouTube are being a bit rubbish at the moment, I have to say. I've had the same problem with other channels that I also watch. Haven't always had notifications. So, yeah. I get it. I have the same thing. We're actually not making the original card. We've branched off. We're going off piste now. Because the original card didn't actually take very long. I went from not knowing what on earth I was going to do today to all of a sudden be able to make it in half an hour, and so then ended up branching off onto other things. So this is a random crafting experiment where I've picked two cards that have told me what my card shape is. So I've got Trifold and Pillar card. And then I picked 2 elements. I got vellum and ribbon. And then I picked one colour, which was pinks. So I've kind of branched into lilacs as well, but they're kind of pinky lilacs, so I think we're okay. I think we can cope with that. And then we just need to work out what we're doing with the vellum. So I'm going to put that onto there like that. And then that whole thing is going to go on the front here, like that. And then we just need some, like we were saying, some kind of a frondy vellum coming out, foliage coming out from the outside of it. So let me have a look and see what we have in the way of foliage. See what will work. Right. Let's grab a foliage die from somewhere. Right, what kind of foliage do we think? Are we thinking like outliney types? Solid? Fluffy? Fern-like? Give me some ideas on the foliage type that you think would work. Let's see if I can find my foliage. I've got quite a lot of foliage. What have we got here? That's not foliage, that's other ones. I need to label these folders up. I really do. Okay, so I'll move this off the desk for a second so you can see something a bit more interesting. Right, what do we think then? What do we think? So, let's clear the decks a little bit. We can actually see. I don't need my pencil and my pen. Right. So, try not to squash my original card. Got butterfly. So we've got like things like this. And things like this. See, these are quite nice. But I don't know how well they'd cut out as a foliage. I'm going to stick this down for a second and I'll wait for your responses. This is kind of a group card, this card. Okay, let's stick this on. I feel like my things aren't loading again. My chat's not loading again. No, my chat's fine. Okay. Right, so let's stick this down on here. Like that. Right, what kind of foliage are we going for? These are outline ones, so maybe out of vellum isn't a good idea. Maybe I need something a bit more solid for vellum. Okay, so let's have a look in my other folder then, because these are all a bit outliney. Let's grab let's grab these ones and see what's in here. Hi Mickey, don't worry. Where's the information that someone wants to try? One of Louise's cards. Right, here we go. Here's some more foliage, so it's not going to be in that folder then, it's in this folder. Oh, I throw it on the floor. Okay. So, oh, see that? What do we think about that behind it? Or that it might block it, might it? We really want a bit of fluff. We don't want lots of fluff. Any fluff recommendations? You know what I mean when I'm saying that? Oh no, that's not foliage now. Oh no. What do we do? What do we do? Help me, people! It's radio silence. Help me! What do we think with the fluff? What kind of fluff do we want? I've got feathers. Do we think some feathers? I've got like little feathery things. I could make some vellum feathers. Or vellum feathers. I've got that, but I don't know how well that would cut out. It's a bit big as well, I think. Might be alright. Don't know how to overlap it though. Hi Denise in Canada, how is it with you? Vellum feathers would go with the ribbon. Yes, right, we're going vellum. We're going feathers. I've got them here, you see, that's all. It just makes it. I've got these feathers that I can cut out. I mean, we've got like cake. That's the theme is cake, but anyway. Oh, on the opposite of the feathers, there are some that you like. Okay, let me move it back. So these ones. So those, they're all right, but they're kind of. It needs to go the other way because that's like a. Yeah. Feathers. I think we're going feathers. The general, I've got feathers out, and feathers seems to be the one we're going for. We're gonna go feathers. We're gonna go feathers. Feather cake. Why not have some feathers with your cake? I mean, you know, doesn't everybody want feathers with cake? Let's just cut a little bit of vellum out, so I haven't got to put the whole thing through. And then, and actually, if we're using feathers, we might be able to put a few different colours of feathers in. Do like a bit of pink, a bit of lilac, not lilac, lemon, and then kind of just fluff them all up, have them all fluffy up. I really can't talk anymore, can I? Really struggling. The first set had a twirly. Oh. Doing what? You've been featuring... I've been featuring your fan card. Cool. Oh, yes. Nice. Yeah, that fan card, that was definitely a once. I'm not making that ever again. It's just certain cards that are just a bit of a faff to cut out, but they do look nice though. I have seen some come up online and thought, ooh. Yeah, different colour feathers, that's what I was thinking, Sandra. Yeah, different colour feathers. So if we cut out, I don't know, like 6 of these colour, and then some more. There's 1, 2. Oh, there we go. And 3. Oh, pop them out. God, they really want to stay in this die. There we go. That's 3. Let's cut out 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. There we go. Right. So that's that. They really do want to stay in here. They are well and truly, oh, stuck. Gosh, be careful as well because like the stem, not stems, but I mean the base of them, they're very delicate, especially with being vellum as well. Okay, so then let's do some pink and some lemon because they're the kind of colours we've got going on. Could do with some real pastel-y. I'm a bit limited on my vellums. I say I'm limited. I've got more vellum than most people have. Or more vellum than I ever used to have actually. But again, all given to me, not bought. Right, let's grab some pink. And let's grab some lemon. If I have any. Right, let's put the white back. Come on, get back in the folder. There's the pink, the pale pink. Oh, that looks the same as that. That doesn't look like pale pink. There's that pink. Yeah, we'll go with that one then. It's darker than I thought I wanted. But anyway, there's the pale pink. Let's cut some of those out. Probably like, I don't know, how many do we think? Maybe 4 in total. 4 pink and 2 lemon, do we think? Or 4 and 4? I don't know. Maybe 4 and 4. 1, 2, that one there, 3, and then we'll just recut one more. I think probably 4 and 4. I like to go unevens. But yeah. Right. Oh gosh. Really stuck to the plate. Really stuck to the plate. Right, let's peel these out. Okay, there's one. Oh, they look quite nice when they're cut out. They don't look quite so bright. I mean, they are still a bit more bright than I wanted them to be, but they're not too bad. They're not too bad. We can cope with that. Okay, there's that one. And then we'll go one more. I think one more vellum feather in the pink, and then we'll just cut out some lemon. It's going to go through once. I hope that doesn't maybe... Oh no, it's still stuck in just as much. Okay, I just thought maybe it wouldn't attach itself into the die quite so much. Right, there's 3 of that, 4 of that even, and then lemon. Lemon. I've only got 1 lemon, but actually, yeah, that's okay. So let's just cut out the piece that kind of fits. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll go about there, I think. I'm just guessing at this point in time. That looks good to me. Right. 1, 2. Turn it round. 3. Almost there, people. We're almost there. I might try and do a more refined version of this for a tutorial, because it's quite nice. Quite like it. I do like that trim, and I'm glad I've managed to use it. That trim does shout baby card to me though. But anyway. Right, 1, 2, 3, and we'll do one more lemon. Oh gosh, I was almost a bit too heavy-handed with that one. Almost ended up with half a feather. Right, let's quickly do this one. Sorry if the camera's moving. I'm just trying to cut this quite quickly, because we're now going into a very long live stream. This is what happens. I do a quick card that takes a half an hour, and then we go off piece, and then before you know it, we're into like 2 hours of live stream. Not quite 1.5, but you know. Right, let me add this down here. Oh gosh, I've got a bit of a crafter math going on over here. Right, okay, so let's bring this in, and then let's I'll put those over here on top of my magnet so I don't lose them. Right, so that's going to go there. I'm going to move it up slightly like that, and then these are all going to come out from the outside. So we should have 3, and then 2 pinks and 2 yellows either side. 1, 2, 1, 2. Which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's fine. 7. That's uneven numbers. That's good. We like uneven numbers. Okay. You always end up with half a feather when playing with your cat. Yeah, my cat loves feathers. She comes in with feathers. I'm just like, what are you doing? Go away with the feathers. Oh, it's so annoying. Honestly, pussycats. Right. Actually, let's have that there. That's more of a 1, 2, and then a 3. So it's difficult to fit in because of the tassely things. Kind of feel like I want to stick it just directly onto the back of this, and just kind of, and then stick the whole thing down, because it's getting a bit problematic. So I think probably what we might need to do is we might need to have a plain circle on the back of there, just so I can kind of sandwich it all in. And thankfully I have a little box where if I cut extras of anything, I'll just stick them in here, and I've got all kinds, squares, circles, hexagons, ovals, all kinds of stuff. So let me see if I can find just like a white that I can put behind, like a circle. I could probably put that one. It's got a thing on it at the moment, but obviously it wouldn't matter. Yeah, just so I can trap the feathers in. And it's not quite the same, but you're not going to see that. You're not going to, I mean, I can always turn it around that way if I need to. But I think we'll use that then. And then we can trap the feathers in, which would be good. So yeah, let's do that. So, right. So how much bigger is this than that? Oh, it's not that much bigger, is it? Okay, so I can stick them onto here then. Yeah, let's stick them onto there. Actually, no, let's stick them onto this side because this side's going to be stuck down because we don't want to see that bit because it doesn't go with our... I mean, you're not going to see it anyway, but just in case. Just in case for any reason you do see it. So, tape. I think tape is probably the best thing to use because glue and vellum are not really friends. So let's go with some, let's go with some normal. I'm trying to think what the best thing to do is here. Let's go with some normal tape for now, just so they sort of stick in. And then we probably will end up using glue at some point, but at least... see, what would be nice if this whole disc was double-sided. Because then you could just stick it straight on and it would hold all of the vellum flowers, but it's not, so we'll just kind of wing it and then maybe stick something over the top. Okay, so like that, and then let's just peel the backing off these and get them kind of in the right place. Right, so I want to have there's number 3. Okay, so I'm going to have him. So bearing in mind, it's not, yeah, it's going to be about there. It's not going to be majorly, you don't want loads of it sticking out, you just want a little bit sticking out. And I feel like the white ones kind of need to be a bit more at the back. Or unless we... Thank you, Suze. I might just try playing with having a 1, 2, and then maybe having the other pink, or having a yellow at the bottom and then overlapping, so that you're not just got all of them at the bottom. So I'm thinking like this. I mean, once I've stuck these down, they're stuck down pretty much. So I'm kind of playing a dangerous game here, but so like that. And then if we then have another maybe white one, and let's go with a pink one there. So if a pink one around there, that's not going to stick just yet, but that's fine. Maybe a yellow one here. And then maybe a white one here. And a white one here. I think that might work. I'm just going to stick I actually think maybe this one needs to shimmy around a bit more. There we go, something like that. I've got a few gaps about there, I think. Stick that into position with some tape. Okay, there we go. So when that's on top, that's the bottom half. Let's just turn it around a bit more like that. And then if we do the same at the top. I should be using my pin, but I can't remember what I did with it. Oh, it's over there. Right. Okay, so that's kind of the angle we want to be. And I kind of want to replicate that same layout on the top, if I can. About there. And we had like a pink one, which is like here. And we had a yellow one, which is like here. Then we had a yellow one there, which would be about there-ish. and a pink one here. Let's just put another bit of tape on. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, thank you. It's one of them wing it and see. It really was today as well. It really was. I had one sorted out ready, but then this is the yeah, the random one. Right, so that's that, and then we've got another one here, which is going to go about there. And then we've got this pink one which needs to go over here, I reckon about there. And then that white one which just needs to go on the end, about there. There we go. Right, okay. And I just need to put some more tape over the top, or glue. I might risk Yoo-hoo for this. Actually no, you know what I should do? I'm going to go with silicone glue, because I think that might be a better option. Because I can squidge it flat if I want to, but it just means that, you know, it might work a little bit better. Okay, so that's like that. And then that needs to go on top, like that. It also means I can turn this round. Yeah, make sure it's central, and it is, it's central. Get in. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Denise. And then I think we're going to stick this on with, oh, we've gone outside of our, oh dear, we've gone outside of our card. So when this folds, this is not going to fit in a 5x7. Oh well, this is the thing, this is the sort of thing I do. If I'm going to make art this, I will trial it first and then make sure it fits and then tweak and the rest of it, but obviously I haven't done that, so it's not going to fit, so whatever. Anyway, never mind. Right, so let's just make sure we add glue in the right places, which is down this centre. In fact, let's just do it straight. No, let's not do it straight. Let's, oh gosh, yeah, let's do it straight on. So from here down to here and everything in between, and I don't want to go to the edges because they are not solid, they are just fringe. So I'm going to have to use an A5 envelope for this one. Apologies if my head gets in the way. I've just got to line up my, oh hello, line up my card. There we go. So there it is. And breathe. And then you open it up, and then you've obviously got space to write your message. I'll probably stamp a greeting and stick it in, I think. I don't mind the lip. The lip part, I kind of don't mind it being there. You can't really see it under all that fringing, so there we go. That was our brief for our random card. Was pinks, which we've done, ribbon, which we've done, vellum, which we've done, trifold card, and pillar card. And there we have a trifold pillar with ribbon, vellum in pinks. I present to you. Yeah, I need to create a better, because my thought was this is obviously going to fold down and it'd be fine, and even with the greeting it would have been fine. It's just all the fluff then makes it so it's too big. But anyway, so that's the off-pieced card, and then this was the original card. This is what we came here for. But yeah, so there you go. So I hope you enjoyed both of the cards today. I definitely think that now, Ali, you are definitely not cheated. You've had, yes, extra, with extra helpings of extra. And breathe. Right, I'm going to go and line a darkened room now, and yeah, I might try and work out how to make that into an actual, and do it as a tutorial. We will see, but thank you for joining me, everybody, and sticking with me. Even the sunshine's coming in now. Right, I am going to poodle off, and I will see you all next week. The week after, so next week there will be a live stream on Tuesday. The week after there won't be, because I will be in a field of buttercups. I will try and vlog my time there. I'll be there all week. I'll be trying to vlog it so then I can maybe upload it another time. But yeah. Suze, that's okay. I'm not Claire. I'm Louise, but it's fine. Don't worry. You got to get ready for your class. Oh goodness. Okay, well have a nice time, Denise. Yeah, Valerie, it's not always easy, I have to say. It's a bit of a fling it together and hope for the best. Whew. But yeah. Right, I'm going to poodle off. I will see you all next time, and have a great week, and yeah, see you next Tuesday. Bye everyone.